Okay, everyone, welcome back. We just did a few videos to show you how to create some blog posts and categorize them in the right area. In this video, we're going to kind of focus on the events and how the events work, um, and a few little tips, and we'll actually go through and show you how to create an event as well. So, um, after you log into your dashboard here, you can click on Events, and it's going to show you a listing of all the events that are in here. Now we've got some test stuff in here just to show you the different event categories and whatnot, but let me show you on this screen how the events actually show up to your end users. So when they go and click on events, they're going to see a monthly calendar, and on that monthly calendar they're going to see everything there is to see. So anything you put in here, no matter what it's categorized as, it's going to show up in this calendar here. We also have a way to narrow this down here. So if your customers only want to see events that have anything to do with education, they can click on that one, and that's only going to show the events that are tagged for education. And you can kind of see that right there. So we've got events of March 2017, education. And all we're doing here, we're putting everything in one big, huge calendar, but we're allowing the end user to easily sort through all those events. So let's say they want to see events only for St. Mary and Joseph. They can click on that one, and that's only going to show them events that are tagged or categorized with St. Mary and Joseph. So they can easily go through and see just the events they want. They can actually go in and change the month. They can search by keyword if they want. And just to show you kind of how the events work on the end user side real quick, if an end user clicks on an event that they like, they can automatically import it to their calendar just by clicking here if they have Google, or here if they use something different. And it's a nice interaction because the end user doesn't have to re-enter all this information on their calendar. They just click a button and it'll automatically put it in their calendar. So that's a nice feature of this system. It gives them details down here, time and date, tells them the category, and also there's a venue here. So what you can do, if you have any kind of events, you'll want to make sure that the venues are in here before you start your event. And what that does is it gives the end user an easy way to map where that venue or where that event's taking place. So you can see the venue here. We have the Carlinville St. Mary and Joseph in here, has the address, but they can also click this Google map right here. And what that's going to do, it's going to go straight to that address on Google Maps for them. So now they can easily go up and get driving directions. They can see where the place is. It makes it very easy for that end user to be able to locate your venue, which is important with your events, especially if you're going to do events where you have people registering, um, markets, stuff like that. So a couple of really nice features there, and that's what the end user is going to see. So how do we get all this information in here? That's going to be your job or somebody in your organization's job. So what we're going to do is go back to our WordPress dashboard, and you'll notice here under events you've got add new event, you've got tags, categories, venues, organizers. So the only things you're going to be using are add new event, event categories, venues, and maybe organizers. Organizers would be the people that would organize the events. So you may or may not use this. Venues will be one that you will use, and you can see when I click on venues, it's going to show that we've got the three different organizations in here. Now if you have venues that happen at other places quite often, I would go ahead and add them in here. It's very easy to do. You just hit add new. It's going to ask you what the name of the venue is. You can put a description in or a picture if you want. It's going to ask for address information, and you can put a website, phone number in there as well. And then once you have that information in, you're just going to come over here and click publish. And what that's going to do is add that as another venue. So moving to the next thing here, we've got event categories. This is going to show you all the different categories. Now, you may want to add to this. So if you have a fall festival, you may want to add fall festival. If you have mission trips, you may want to add those in here as a category too. And then if you want to actually add an event, you just click add new. You're going to name your event. You can actually put a paragraph or two in here. You can add media if you want. So say you're going to put in something about a fall festival 2017. So we come down here and say you have a video that shows a little bit about what last year's fall festival was like. You can upload that to your YouTube channel. You can come in here and do copy embed code just like we did for the blog post. And we can do the same thing here. We can just come in and paste that embed code, visualize it, and then that's going to give the end user a little preview of what happened at this event last year. So let's say, well, they go to the website and they see the 2017 Fall Festival for your church. Well, that's a pretty cool idea. I wonder what it's like. Well, you can put a little preview video on here that will show the end user exactly what that fall festival's like. So that's kind of a nice little feature to have there. And then, of course, you're just going to put your date, your start and end time. If it's an all-day event, you can choose all-day event. And what we're going to do is just change this to the 18th, make an all-day event just for visualization. And we're going to just change this to St. Simon and Jude Gillespie. And we want to show the Google Maps. And then if you have an organizer, you can put their information in here. Let's say you have somebody that's in charge of your fall festival. You can go in here and enter their name and information, email address. So if the end user has a question, they can easily contact that person. So if you have let's say you're putting on a concert, and say the band that's going to handle the concert has their own website, you can add that in here, and that'll give the end user just one more piece of information that's going to help determine whether they want to go to that event or not. And that's pretty much it, other than your category up here. So let's see, I think we made this one St. Simon and Jude and Gillespie. So we're going to add St. Simon and Jude as our event category, and then what that's going to do is help the end user sort the events how they want to. So we'll go ahead and publish this, and then I'll show you what this looks like to the end user. So now we're going to come back over here to events, and we're going to see on the 18th now we have that Fall Festival 2017. And when I click on that, there's your video. So it looks really nice. Everything's nice and neat. Again, they can export to Google Calendar or their Outlook calendar, however they want there. Here's your venue information with the Google Map tie-in again. So very nice. They can play that video right from this screen. They don't have to go off anywhere else. So if you want to show them what that venue or what that event was like, and you have a video of that, I definitely suggest you put that in here for them. So now we can go back to all events here. Oops. And if you remember, we categorized that under the St. Simon and Jude and Gillespie. So let's say I'm from Gillespie. I'm not from Carlinville or Bunnell. The first thing I'm probably going to do is say, oh, St. Simon and Jude is what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on St. Simon and Jude. And then that's going to show only events that are categorized St. Simon and Jude. And then you'll see that fall festival there. Now, if you want that event to show up on everything, so no matter where they go, let's say they go to events, let's say they go to St. Mary and Joseph. You'll notice that event I just created isn't on here because we didn't categorize it that way. But if it's a fall festival and it's for everyone, you may want to add categories to this event. So, I mean, we can add it to all 3 locations, hit update, and then it doesn't matter if your end user goes to events or if they go to St. Mary and Joseph in Carlinville, it's going to show. If they go to the Gillespie, that event's going to show. If they go to Benilde, that event's going to show. Because that event is tagged for all 3 of those categories for the different locations. So there's a lot of different ways you can use categories. You don't have to use by location if you don't want to, but it is kind of a nice thing for that user to just see events that pertain to that location or that church. So that is how you go in and create an event, and we'll be back with another video here that'll kind of show you a little bit about the media library and how to add things to the media library like your bulletins and whatnot. So thanks for watching.